Hello and welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us today for our virtual reception of our new exhibits, HoCo Open and Traces. I'm Mary Kay Baxter, the Deputy Director at HCAC. I'll be introducing the artists while HCAC staff Ellie Hernandez and Pam Perna manage the presentation and monitor the chat. Tonight, it is our pleasure to present two exciting exhibits. In Gallery 1, we have HoCo Open, a salon-style, non-juried exhibit featuring artwork in a variety of media. And in Gallery 2, we have Traces featuring mixed media paintings by Jeremy Sight and Will Wolf. We're going to begin with the exhibit in Gallery 1, which is HoCo Open. A total of 90 artists submitted paintings, photographs, sculptures, and more through a modified, physically distanced drop-off. The pandemic sure hasn't stopped artists from working, as the artwork submitted this year were fabulous. First, I'd like to introduce Colleen West, the HCAC Executive Director, who will present the 40th Anniversary Director's Choice Award. Take it away, Colleen.
Thank you, Mary. I'm sure all of you, like me, are just happy to see 2020 just go away. 2021 is an anniversary year for the Arts Council. We are celebrating 40 years of fostering the arts and engaging our community with the arts. To mark this occasion, I am delighted to announce a special Director's Choice Anniversary Award in the amount of $400 to artist Bok Kim. I have admired Bok Kim's work for many years. She's an incredibly talented artist and teacher who has participated in the HoCo Open for nearly a decade, and she always encourages her students to participate along with her. This year is no exception, as you will see several works by her students when you visit the gallery. Bok Kim's entry this year is a watercolor on rice paper titled Lotus Pond. It is an exquisite and delicate example of traditional Asian brushwork on a large scroll. Its beauty and serenity brings much wonder and joy to the gallery, which we all need right now. So congratulations, Bok Kim. And are you here? And would you like to say a few words? Ellie, am I seeing you say no? Bok Kim is not here?
Yeah, I'm so glad, I'm so honored to be there, but had a award is so exciting. I'm going to tell my kids first and also my student, thank you so much. So touch my heart and woo!
Awesome, Bok Kim, I hope to see you soon. I know you were in the gallery earlier, sometime last week, so hopefully we'll be able to catch up soon.
Thanks.
Great. So at this time, I'd also like to give a shout out to Arts Council board members who are in attendance tonight. We have Ellen Flynn Giles and Muriel Mitchell, so welcome them. The Arts Council would not be able to produce the valuable community-based programming like HoCo Open and Traces without their sage advice and support. So thank you to our board members. It is now my pleasure to introduce Robin Holliday, owner and curator of Horse Spirit Art Gallery. 4 years ago, Robin approached us about creating a special Emerging Artist Award for Howard County artists. Here to tell us the story behind this award and to announce the winner is gallery owner extraordinaire, Robin Holliday.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Well, it's a pleasure to be here this evening. I'd like to begin by telling you what this award is about. It's called the Covington Emerging Artist Award, and it's really given on behalf of my grandmother. Her name was Mabel Covington Holliday. She was an artist herself, and she taught art to many rural women in her community in Eastern North Carolina. She built an art studio outside of her home, and she encouraged the women to learn learn how to oil paint, to quilt, all sorts of different types of art. What my grandmother believed in is that everyone had an innate ability to do some kind of art, if only they had the opportunity to do so. So in that spirit, I really want to cultivate emerging artists. In my gallery, I have several artists that had never shown before. And one of them was 23 years old, and I was just delighted to have her. So in that spirit, Mabel Covington was a very brave woman. She was a kind woman. And above all, she believed that art not only heals, but that creative spirit sort of transcends into the goodness of humanity. So without further ado, I'd like to tell you just the requirements for the Covington Award. Being an emerging artist means that you've been showing or selling your work for 3 years or less. The selection criteria was not only technical elegance, technical abilities, but it was also, are you in the spirit of, the power of art and the creative spirit? The amount of the award is a $500 cash award. In addition to that, there are 3 honorable mentions. Each one is a $50 gift certificate to my gallery. And then there is a 3rd place winner for a $75 gift certificate, a 2nd place winner for a $100 gift certificate, and then a $500 cash award. So here we go. Let's announce some winners. Let's start with the honorable mention first. Ellie, can you pull up some slides?
You might also qualify for a $0 Medicare Advantage plan that includes.
So the first honorable mention goes to Siobhan Elise Vincennes.
Contacts, hearing, including hearing aids and batteries, and prescription drug coverage.
My apologies, we're having some technical difficulties. Robin, I accidentally muted you, so you can either unmute yourself.
I'm unmuted.
There you go.
How
Sorry.
much did you hear, Ellie?
All we heard was just the name of the artist.
Okay, so Siobhan, she did a digital illustration called My So-Called Coronavirus Life. This is a large piece. I love the composition, and just the expression on the face is priceless. And it just shows, I'll bet, how a lot of us feel. And please notice that her toenails are painted, which I think is hilarious because we're all trying self-care. So anyway, congratulations, Siobhan. The next award, the next honorable mention goes to Heather Dorse. This is an alcohol ink on HoCo paper, Copper Mountain. This piece has already sold. And so it's really just, it's lovely. And I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. I hope that's okay. I'm 59 years old. It happens sometimes, but it's a lovely painting. So congratulations, Heather. I would back up and say Siobhan's painting is available and for sale for $500, and Heather's already sold. So congratulations to Heather. Then the next honorable mention goes to Moonjo Lee. This is a watercolor painting called The Summer I Loved. Although it's hard to see on this painting, the trees are beautifully done. They have all these colors in the trunk, which really shows what trees look like. So it's really very well done. So congratulations, Moonjo Lee. So for all 3 of you, I have a $50 gift certificate, which will be at my gallery whenever you feel safe to come. It's good indefinitely. So congratulations. So now I'd like to go to 3rd place for the Covington Award. This goes to Heidi Hewitt for Eleanor's Sunshine. What I love about this painting is the detail that's up front and then the softer nature in the back. And remember, all these artists have been displaying or selling for 3 years or less. So it's really quite excellent. So this is an oil painting, and congratulations, Heidi. 2nd place award is also an oil painting, and this is by Lori Donnelly. So this is a really good painting. The perspective is quite impressive. The colors are excellent. It's called Venice, and she just did a really nice job. So congratulations, Lori. I have a $100 gift certificate for you at the gallery. So here we go. Drum roll, please. For the Covington Award for a $500 cash award goes to Bill McCauley. This is a pastel painting and it is extraordinary. It's hard for me to believe that he's been working for such a short period of time. This is called La Petite Grocery in New Orleans. It actually looks like an oil painting until you get up on it and realize it's a pastel. So Bill, congratulations. Whenever I can get a picture of you standing behind that painting, I would love to have it. And congratulations to you all. You are inspirations to artists everywhere. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Robin, and congratulations to all the winners. Awardees, after tonight's reception, we will contact you. Ellie will be in touch to talk about information on picking up your award. So now I am delighted to introduce the exhibit in Gallery 2, Traces. Tonight we have Jeremy Sight and Will Wolf, who will talk about their artworks and artistic practices. After they speak, we'll open it up to questions and answers from the audience. As they present, please feel free to ask any questions in the chat box. First, we'll start with Jeremy. Jeremy, if you can unmute while I'm talking, so I don't have to scroll through and find you. Jeremy's from Allentown, Pennsylvania, and he uses corrosive metals to create his unique paintings. Where is Jeremy? Are you here? Jeremy can't unmute, Ellie. Can you find him?
Yep.
Oh, and hi to Julia Koufax. I saw that Colleen posted another board member who we found in the mix of people here today. Hi, Julia.
I think I'm unmuted now.
Hi. Okay, I'm going to mute myself, so I'll let you speak.
Great. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Ellie. As said before, my name is Jeremy Sight. I am a working artist here actually in Bethlehem now. It's just very close to Allentown, just about an hour north or so of Philadelphia. I've been working in this particular fashion and practice in my studio for just about, I'd say right around 8 years or so, to give you a little bit of insight into the process as well as the reason for the exploration and use of corrosive metals in my painting. When I was in graduate school, I obtained my bachelor's degree from Tyler School of Art and then went for my master's degree at University of the Arts of Philadelphia. I found myself infatuated with the crumbling facades of buildings and exteriors all around, and I was constantly mimicking them through washes and backgrounds in my paintings at the time. So I thought to myself, instead of imitating, I would like to explore the use of these actual materials in my paintings to see how I can pull out the natural beauty. So often when something is decaying, we start to think of it as waste, when really this is an opportunity for rebirth. It's actually the beginning of something new. So if we're focusing on these elements of something slowly breaking down and becoming new and constantly evolving within itself, I find it to be quite poetic and very much in tune with the human experience. So how I work these paintings is I will apply different types of metals to the back of a canvas or paper. My paper work that is exhibited here in this show, for example, is just 240 rag aquarelle rag paper. But what I do is I add these different sheets of metal and I apply them in a way that compositionally seems sound. And I begin to apply different solutions so the metals start to corrode and embed themselves into the fibers of either the canvas or the paper itself. I continue to work this with tracing my body over, nicely named for the show, actually, because this is where a lot of my body comes in. I'm constantly tracing over these surfaces, really forcing my will upon them to break these metals down. And as they slowly break down, I said that they start to embed themselves into the surface in which they are on. And I start to work them with raw pigments, other natural materials. Some of these paintings have been buried for the better part of 3 weeks or so. They're very aggressively kind of produced, which is interesting to me because they have such a delicate, whimsical feeling at certain times. So I begin to work with the composition that has formed by the metals, and then I enhance it because I'm also very interested in the synthetic versus the natural and how they can interact with one another. So these pieces are really about the tracing of the body, and this was not planned. I didn't have any part in the naming of the exhibition, actually, but it's really about how we leave relics behind. And what this relic is an opportunity for that rebirth, that regeneration, and how we can really start to take hold and understand and appreciate not only the present, but how something came from the past and what it will become in the future. So it's a very vigorous, time-consuming process that sometimes paintings take upwards of a year to produce, depending on how stubborn those different metals are and how abrasive my own body is with these natural solutions. There's no harmful chemicals used. I try to stay everything very, very natural with these. So everything from a little bit of liver or sulfur acid to turn coppers black, to salt, to apple cider vinegar, lots of these acidically based natural materials I try to take hold of, but I really try to rely on my body to push forth that corrosive element, to bring it to the forefront, and then wrangle it and see how I can really start to control to make a successful composition. That's all. I know if there's questions, but that's it in a nutshell. I see Mary waving.
While I have you here, Jeremy, I actually do have a question for you. I'm wondering, and I'm going to ask this to Will too, how has COVID affected your art practice?
I'm fortunate enough that my home here, I built my studio behind my home, and I continue to work day and night. I don't really believe that it has had an impact on my studio practice because prior to this, I continue to work. During it, I'm working, and I will work afterwards because of not having to travel to my studio and having my individual space located right with my home. It's been a really great advantage. I would have to say my 2-year-old son has been more of a hindrance on my practice over the past couple of years, as far as being able to produce when I want to. Don't get me wrong, I love my son, but we're talking about children. We know how much time they can consume. But really, the entire pandemic and really has allowed me to reintroduce myself and take time because of I'm the head of an art program at a local college near me that I get to work from home. So I'm really allowed to rededicate myself through the week. That's one thing I think in a positive fashion. The silver lining of it all is I've been able to actually produce more work. But then finally, I had 6 shows canceled because of COVID. I didn't take any shows all of the year of 2020 and into a little bit of 2019 because I worked over a year on a large body of work because I had 2 solo shows in Philadelphia. I had a group show in New York. I had a 2-person show in Brooklyn and a couple of other local shows here, all canceled. So that's how it's really affected me as an artist, is that not being able to exhibit your work after putting so much time and effort into building a specific body to be able to create solid material for those solo exhibitions and whatnot, that was a really devastating blow. Maybe not on the psyche, but just being able to, connect with other creative minds. And we all know and how much we value those critiques and dialogue and conversations that we get during these openings. So that's something that obviously can't be taken back, but hopefully in the near future, we'll be able to proceed in a way and all kind of reconvene at some time when we see safe and fit.
Well said. Thank you, Jeremy. Thanks for unmuting me, Ellie. I don't know what happened. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, you answered a lot of my questions too during your talk. So I'll have to open the floor later to others to ask their questions. I'm going to move it on to Will Wolf. If Will can be unmuted by Ellie, the powers who be right now. Will, this says you're from Philadelphia. Did you move on me too? From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Will use a variety of media to create 2D and 3D abstract work.
Oh yeah, I was born and raised in the mainline Philadelphia area. When I was 18, I moved off to Edinburgh University, and then I lived in Massachusetts for about 5 years. And then I just moved back to Philly 3 years ago. Yeah.
Awesome. Can you share a little bit about your work with us?
No, yeah. So the work that you guys are looking at are kind of segments of two bodies of work. The 2D work were drawings that I made back in 2018, and I was really inspired by childhood narrative as kind of a kind of like that conceptual groundwork, but kind of like rotting fruit and decay, and as a metaphor for memories passing and things being a little bit hazy and not quite there anymore, and kind of that framework of just holding on to things from childhood. And with the drawings, basically I would write the narrative of the piece on the paper, and then I would erase, cover, sand away with different layers of material. The 3D work, it's kind of a 180 perspective on conceptually, where I was really thinking about kind of like the spaces that we navigate and how even whether it's through conflict or gross misuse of our resources, how we're kind of being bad ancestors to future generations, and or to what we leave behind, whether if it's like people, other people or other species that may evolve. And I kind of see these as landscape pieces, but also like topographical cross sections of the earth, about looking downward and like those layers of life just kind of coming back up. And I was heavily influenced by the writings of Robert Macfarlane, who's a Scottish author who writes a lot about the human heart and landscape, and how these spaces can really affect like how we feel about space.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing. I'm going to open up the chat, the Q&A now. So I'm seeing lots of people, for both of you, saying, fantastic, I love it. And we're going back and seeing everybody. And then I see John West says, cosmic and unique. I love how your process, how you use your process to achieve unexpected atmospheric results, surreal and sensitive. I think this was in the beginning to Jeremy that I saw before. If anybody else has questions here, go ahead and put them in the chat. If anyone wants to ask Jeremy or Will. Okay, Julia, who's our resident technology board member, she's always into technology, asking if either of the artists is on TikTok. Are either of you on TikTok?
I'm an old man, but I am on Instagram at Will Wolf Studio.
Can you put it in the chat?
Let me kind of try and figure this out.
Are you on your phone? I can put it in the chat. Will Wolf Studio?
I'm on my computer.
Okay. All right.
I am not on TikTok either. I just had this conversation with a friend of mine, and he said you should be on TikTok, and my answer was I thought that was just for like lip syncing and dancing. Then he showed me a whole nother world that I thought was quite interesting. But with Will, I'm kind of an old man too. I'm not great on social media, so my friend might manage that and start me a TikTok. But I do have an Instagram that's just for my work and my studio practice as well, and that's just at Jeremy SI.
Can you put it in the chat? Are you able to do that so that everyone can see
Sure.
there? Awesome. Oh, Julia's throwing some shade, but she would love to see you on TikTok.
I'm not opposed to it. I just don't know how to navigate it. So if someone, Julia, if you want to help us out, let's start a TikTok then. We'll get it going.
That's great. That's great. If I can do it, you can do it, she's saying. So she's rooting for you. Oh, great. But both of these are Instagram, so we'll write that too.
Yeah.
In the chat. Both these are Instagram, so if anyone wants to follow, and any of the other artists on here too, type your Instagram or type things in, and share so that we can connect together. And anybody watching later is going to be able to read the chat too, so they'll be able to see all of these things and follow everybody on all of the things. You know what? I want to go back really quickly because we weren't able to hear from Bill, who I saw. Thank you, Robin, for mentioning, who won the Covington Award. Bill, if you're still on, I'd love for you to also unmute and say a few words about receiving the Covington Award. And then John West has said, it's so refreshing to see such a fine show of abstract paintings at HCAC. And Lisa Scarbath, also a mosaic artist, and she is in HoCo Open, and she's one of the resident artists at HCAC. She's putting her her Instagram handle in here too. Bill, are you here?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi.
Okay. Hi there. What it feels like to win the award, it's sort of mind-blowing. And all these young men over here who are saying they're old, wait till you're my age. And what Robin said was kind of funny, that she can't believe that I'm emerging. I started late, but I have to be honest, with this show, I got in just under the wire, because I think the first time I ever exhibited was in the Open. And it was in January or whatever, 2019. So this is my third and final attempt as an emerging artist. And, to say I'm thrilled is putting it mildly. And I happen to love that painting too. A couple of years ago, we were in New Orleans and walking around the Garden District at night, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful scene. So I snapped a picture, and then last year I decided to try a painting of it. And I've decided that's a new direction I'll go in. I like nocturnes. And with pastel, if you do a nocturne on black sanded paper, which is what that is, the colors, I mean, you can make them literally scream at you. And for a nocturne, that can be pretty exciting. So Robin, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And like I said, I love the painting. I would love it to sell, of course, but I also would be very sad if it did, because I want to hang it on my wall at home. So thanks.
Oh, congratulations, Bill.
Thank you.
Everyone's now commenting for you guys too. But yeah, thanks for sharing. Anyone else want to put their Instagram or TikTok if they've got it? Ellen now. I think this is Ellen Flynn Giles, maybe our board member. But Ellen is saying wonderful show with amazing works and spectacular in person, and it's so true. So that maybe brings me to the end. But I will say, definitely come and see the show or see the online stuff. I think, Ellie, are you planning to give everybody a little how-to?
Yes, we can do a walkthrough of the HoCo Open show.
Okay, so let me say goodbye, and then we'll do. Let me just tell you the dates and things, so that if anybody doesn't want to stay on for that, you can go. Robin is saying, I also want to let you know that artist Deborah McCloskey has helped me juror the Covington Award. So thank you very much, Deborah, for helping. Pam is putting all of the links into the chat there for if you want to see all the online exhibits, remotely from wherever you are. The shows are both up right now in person at the gallery. Our building is only open 3 days a week. We're open Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I think that the times are in the chat, but you can also look online and see those times. The show HoCo Open is up through February 20th. That's the last day, and Traces is going to be up through February 27th. You have an extra week to see that. But thank you so much for everybody for coming tonight, and we really are so glad that we can host these receptions virtually. Of course, while we're not able to be together, I agree. I think someone wrote in the chat, there's such a great opportunity to really speak with all of the artists and get a talking, get like a real artist talk of them. So we're finding some benefits despite all of the challenges of this. Ellie, I'm going to let you walk through the exhibit a little bit before we sign off.
All right, so I hope you guys have gotten a chance to check out the virtual exhibit. When you visit, we have the 3D room. You guys saw me using the 3D room for the Traces exhibit. We tried to line it up as close as we could to the layout in the actual gallery. It's not perfect, but some of the 3D works look a little wonky, of course, but for the most part, all the artworks look really great. So I'm going to start a tour and we'll just walk through.
So we're going to leave those who are watching the virtual show, the virtual reception afterwards. We're going to leave you with this moment of Zen as we go through our exhibit, which of course anyone can do on their own as well by following the links that Pam has put in the chat and looking at our website. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us. Thank you all of the artists who have come and and spoken about your work, and congratulations to the winners. Oh, and we've got another shout out to our delegate, Jessica Feldmark, who's on too. So hi, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi. Thank you.
Hi, thanks. Thanks for being here. Such a supporter of the arts. We really appreciate everything that you do for us too. So thank you everyone so much, and we hope that you have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Bye.